Now, as you all know, the BMW M3 GTR first appeared in Need for Speed Most Wanted back in 2005, but we're going to create like a timeline of where this thing came from and where this thing is, in Need for Speed lore. Now, this all takes place in Need for Speed Carbon in the beginning. Now, in the beginning, you have to do a race. You have to beat Angie 21st Street, Wolf TFK, and Bushido with the RX-7. Now, the thing is, this race doesn't exactly go as planned, and they end up getting arrested. Money end up getting switched. And, pretty much people think you stole some money and left, because police, for some strange reason, allowed you to leave. And this shit is all set up by Darius, who's the main one pulling the strings, doesn't want you to get his money, pretty much used you to clean up all of the territory. Until sometime later, and I say sometime later because we're going to get back to that part. Sometime later, you end up in the city of Rockport, which is where the events of Need for Speed Most Wanted take place. But I know right now you're probably asking, okay, cool, so how did he get the BMW M3 GTR? We're going to discuss that right now. Now, this is the BMW M3 GTR, the real deal vehicle, which is what the M3 GTR in the game is based off of. Now, this right here is a homologation vehicle, meaning BMW had to build a specific number of these vehicles in order to enter this car into the 24 Hours of Le Mans. You're following what I'm saying? So this is why I'm telling you this, because I'm nerding out right now. There was no way that the protagonist would have been able to buy the real actual vehicle from BMW. He would have had to turn the homologation vehicle into the race car, the straight cut gears, the suspension, and the wide body. That's the only logical explanation for this. It just makes sense. And he had to have built this vehicle right after the events of both Underground and Underground 2, right before entering Rockport. And to answer your question, you're probably asking, yes, the same protagonist from Carbon and Most Wanted is the same protagonist that was in Underground and Underground 2. So hopefully that makes sense. Let's recap, right? So during the events of Need for Speed Carbon, right, the race gets botched or set up to where you look like the fall guy, and you end up leaving in Darius's Supra, the blue and silver Supra. Where did he go after Need for Speed Carbon in the beginning of the game? He ended up going to where the events of Need for Speed Underground and Underground 2 take place. After you conquer the scene in Underground 2, Bayview, that's when you build the BMW M3 GTR and you end up going to Rockport. All right, so you're in the beginning of Need for Speed Most Wanted, and you meet this asshole who, for some strange reason, was able to fiddle with your oiling system of a vehicle that has a dry sump oiling system. Oh, you left a oil slick at the start, razor fiddle with your car. You need to end the race fast. You get what I'm saying? Everybody know the vibes. But there was no possible way he could. Nope, not get into that. That'll be a whole nother video. Now, you meet this asshole. He tricks you out your car. And then you have to work your way up a blacklist of 15 people in order to get your car back. And he used your BMW M3 GTR to get to the top. Oh, and multiple things happen when you finally beat Razor. Multiple things happen. You beat Razor. He won't give you your keys back. Mia takes it from him. He tried to confront Mia. Mia body slams him. Turns out Mia is a goddamn undercover officer that Cross was secretly hidden to, right? And close to like the beginning of the game. But it's all right, because these assholes decide to sick the entire police force on you. Everyone! Mia calls you while you're bobbing and weaving the police like a NFL linebacker, and she tells you about a old ass bridge that she believes your car is fast enough to jump across, giving us the most iconic. Let me tell y'all something, and I stamped this. This scene, when we first seen this shit, was the most iconic shit that we immediately knew that this game would be cemented as a legendary Need for Speed game. This bridge jump is the most iconic thing to ever happen and ever will happen in any Need for Speed game. EA will never do this shit again. They will never give you the joy that this bridge jump gave you. This bridge jump, dog. Alright, so after the events of Rockport City, aka Need for Speed Most Wanted, our protagonist laid low a bit before heading towards Palma City, which is where the events of Need for Speed Carbon take place. We know our protagonist laid low a bit before going to Palmont City because he's no longer with the police force. He has braids and his car went from white stripes to gold stripes. Now, one or two things happen after you escape Cross back in Rockport City. Either Rockport police fired him for allowing the most wanted street racer in the city to escape, or he quit Rockport police to become a bounty hunter focused purely on going to get you. Alright, so multiple things happen after your run-in with Cross. You total your car. This asshole pays Cross $150,000, towards your bounty, right? And that essentially makes the protagonist Darius's bitch again. So once you total your vehicle, that is the last official time that you will see the BMW M3 GTR in a Need for Speed game. So I'll give you my own detailed account of what I think happened after Cross makes you wreck your vehicle. After Cross left because Darius paid him that $150,000 for your bounty, right? That pretty much puts you in business with Darius, like whether you like it or not. You can't skip town because the only reason you came back to Palmont City is to clear your name. So you end up leaving with your ex-girlfriend who thinks you took the money and left for Rockport City or whatever the case may be, and betrayed her and shit like that. That means Darius was the last one with the vehicle or around the vehicle at the time. So what more than likely happened was Darius took the car, got it fixed, and sold it. And it's been switching hands ever since throughout the years up until the events of Need for Speed Heat. So you're probably like, okay, if it just switched hands, then why didn't anybody drive it in any other games between Carbon and Heat? I tell you why, because this car is too dangerous, too well known to be trying to drive. One look at this car and everybody from Bayview to Palmont City to Rockport, bro, everybody knows about this vehicle. Police and everybody, villains. There's probably guys and gals even worse than Razor who would have been after this car. So it would have been too dangerous to drive on the street. Like, everybody would be after you immediately. This thing is absolutely just well known. It's the most wanted car in all of Need for Speed history. So, whew, boy, this has been a long journey. So you're probably asking, how did Frank Mercer get the BMW M3 GTR in Need for Speed Heat? I will tell you. There's another theory, right? So after Darius got the vehicle, after he, took the vehicle in or whatever the case may be and sold it, the person he sold it to got it taken by this guy right here who was basically taking everybody's car, in the events of Need for Speed Heat and selling them overseas for profit. Boy, this has turned into a short film already. So Need for Speed Unbound hinted towards Razor's return or whatever the case may be. Not really sure where EA tried to go with this little Easter egg. But you basically have to deliver the car to him in a delivery mission. It kind of don't make sense, because how did this car go from the events of Need for Speed Heat to an entirely different city in Need for Speed Unbound? It partially doesn't make sense, but all we can say is that the car switched hands. That's all we can say for right now. I'll do some more digging, but officially, quote unquote, Razor is now in possession of the car. Hey guys, it's a Black Car Guru back with another video. If you've made it this far, I just want to say thank you for supporting me. I don't care about your sex, your nationality, your color. I love each and every one of y'all. Black, brown, blue, yellow, or pink. I love every one of y'all. I thank y'all for y'all massive support. A lot of people wanted me to finish the series on how are all the old Need for Speed games connected, and I said, hell, I'm not doing anything today. So let me go ahead and create a long length video for you guys to watch on this beautiful Sunday. So yeah, that's how all the Need for Speed's connected, and this is how I think, the protagonist in the first game, got the BMW M3 GTR. I just wanted to make something that you guys could feel nostalgic about. So I love y'all. Y'all have a beautiful day. Comment below, tell me how I did. All feedback is good feedback. I love y'all.